Hey everyone, welcome to FPL the Onion episode 32. Nick's still on his holidays, so very good standing again will be Tom H this week, 16k in the world, the man himself. How's it going, Tom?
It's quite an intro. Thanks very much. Yeah, all good. Thanks. I'm having a great time. I think I'm a bit better down every week.
Yeah, I can see what's going to happen next week when hopefully you come back on. Nick's still away, but he'll like edge closer to me, and then the week he's back on, he'll beat me, so that I'll just be behind everyone that's on the podcast with me. Nightmare.
Yeah, I think this is my best ever rank. So it's only 2 weeks in, but I'll take it.
Best ever like game week 2 like position, or best ever rank ever.
I think ever 16k. I don't think I've ever been that high.
Oh wow, nice. Okay, sweet. Right, well, look forward to tonight then. What's your guess on duration then for tonight?
I'll go an hour and 10.
Okay, I'm going to go for the big 59 minutes, partly as I've held you up with the prep, so I'll try and keep it fairly short this week. And yeah, a bit of a Tuesday evening recording's thrown me a bit, so we'll see what happens. So just a reminder on the league code for anyone that'd like to join our mini league, TRLU7M. And yeah, we've got 3 extra people in the league from last week, so we're up to 36, so that's great. Thanks for the support. What content have you listened to, if any? Tom, been on Twitter a bit this week, you were telling me.
Yeah, I dusted off my new Twitter account since my old one was taken away from me. So I've just a few little bits and bobs and stuff. Mostly just after that Liverpool game, I just couldn't help myself go and be smug on there about Diaz. So yeah, that was pretty much it really. Just a bit of Reddit, bit of Twitter, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, nice. Okay, what as in you took pleasure in watching the highlights twice for that one?
Just obviously Darwin owners and people shouting about that. I was just like, just loving that.
Yeah, we were chatting beforehand, like, yeah, people wildcarding to bring in Darwin and captain. It's pretty brutal. People getting sort of like 30 points or less on the wildcard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Onion League then looks like this week. You are top of the table. Nice work. Mr. Darren Bayliss, triple captain to Haaland. He went for it to try and improve on his 6k rank last week. So yeah, I guess in the world, even with triple captain, he went down this week if you're 16k and you're now a bit ahead of him, so that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, sitting pretty at the top by 4 points.
Yep. No, it's great. It's good news, isn't it? Yeah, obviously it doesn't mean as much as if it was like game week 35 or something, but I'll take it all the same.
Yeah. And I think he had exactly the same team as Chris. He's come up to 6th, friend of the show, Chris. So shout out if you're listening. Nick is up to 11th from joined 26th or something, so he's doing pretty well. Just 14 points behind me. With got to quickly mention the absolute jam that is Jose Sarr, 15 points for him in goal. So that made his week for sure. Yeah, looking pretty good. And yeah, 7 points between us was the Diaz versus Robertson difference, basically, which we'll come to in a sec.
Yeah, still a strong week for you as well. Not too bad. I don't know what's your overall rank, but still pretty tidy.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. 160 something, I think. So yeah, decent. And yeah, I was looking at a few Twitter bits again earlier, and people are thinking of pulling the wild card and sort of interested in their overall rank, and it's, you know, sort of 3.5 million or something, or 5 million. So, and then looking at some big content creators and stuff, and yeah, sort of Markov, Scout, and Holly and stuff. They're on sort of 3 to 5 million. So yeah, definitely could be worse. Yeah, but still, Red Arrow in the league, and Red Arrow and a few was a bit of a bummer. It's just that, yeah, that Liverpool game did annoy me. And even if you have a good week, if it is a bit sour at the end, sounds a bit spoiled. But yeah, it can be a bit annoying. So a bit peeved about being on the wrong side of the Liverpool assets. But yeah, can't complain in general.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk us through what happened with your week. 79, no hits. Diaz was the hero, and I feel like we've got similar teams, so it's kind of, yeah, obviously similar to mine, but obviously a lot of people, like we said, got 40 or less or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I think really, yeah, it was just that Diaz one, was great for me. Obviously, we've got Haaland the captain, not the greatest choice. Obviously, Jesus would have been amazing, but to be honest, I didn't really consider him. It was always Salah versus Haaland. So I guess out of those two, I got the slightly better one. But it's just super fine margins, isn't it? I mean, that Jesus, we'll come on to it maybe, he's just ridiculous in that game, and then Haaland was pretty quiet, and then I think actually everybody has returned for me in either one of the 2 game weeks apart from Neto or Trent, and
Yeah.
I've had like quite a lot of returns off of City defense, obviously, and
James again,
yeah,
7-pointer.
Martinelli, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, you don't really dislike anyone massively apart from Neto and Trent.
Yeah, and Trent, I just can't. I can't take him out with the Man United game coming up, and you just think the returns are gonna come hopefully. And then Neto's an interesting one. Yeah, that's my dilemma really of what to do, because where do you go for that money? And yeah, I spent most of the weekend thinking, how do I get Darwin in? How do I get rid and take Diaz out? And then obviously 60 minutes into that game, I was like, that's changed
Made
my
everything
plans all
clear.
over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I had the real schoolboy error of during that game, and I don't know if you saw, I put on I don't know if it was on your group, but I think it was, I deleted a tweet and I just had a moment of madness and got Nunez and Diaz confused. I think it was the Z at the end of their name. So I was just about to be like, oh no, what's happened here? But then about 2 minutes later, after I'd still got that tweet, that WhatsApp message in existence, I saw that Diaz had scored and I was like, what? How can that be possible? Oh, I've mixed up Nunez and Diaz. So I was very confused for about 30 seconds. And I was like, oh no, the only person in the mini league or sort of close pals yourself with Diaz. So you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, it was a lovely goal as well. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? It was 50-50 to get Robbo or Diaz. Obviously, at the moment, it's slightly up on Diaz, but next week it might swing around again the other way. I think they're all good picks, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Darwin goes. So how they go on with that Darwin now. He got that obviously. I think all that game was horrible. The first half, watching it, Darwin had a couple of chances, didn't he, at the post, and then whatever, and then you think, oh, I was waiting for him to score basically, and then obviously he got sent off, and then that swing in space of like 15 minutes was massive for me, really. So
yeah,
it's tough on the other end.
weird though that Trent, he got 3, didn't he? Was it one? Yeah, one bonus, I think, is of all his because his key pass or something was quite good in a one.
I think it was 2 big chances created, was it, or something? He wasn't for 2 bonus. It's right, literally at full time. I checked it. He was on 2 bonus. I was like, oh, brilliant, and then he went down to 1 just after the final whistle. So
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's still pretty good because he really didn't get a clean sheet.
Yeah. Cancelo assist and what he does, that's pretty handy, isn't it? Assist and a clean sheet, that's sort of solid 11. And yeah, the double seat defence, which I've got as well, is good, and it's nice to see sort of people clamouring for that in wildcards and stuff, and people talking obviously about Walker and Ake and stuff. Fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something, that I put it in quite early on. I was quite keen on Edison in quite a lot of my drafts, and then I was like, oh, it's a bit boring, and I've actually thought about maybe taking him out and what that extra million or $500,000, but I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah, I guess come on to it. I don't know where I'm going to spend it, so that's kind of maybe I'm just kind of happy to stick with it and keep taking the 6 pointers.
I think that's a bit of a 4-0 City kind of reaction though. Like, as soon as Foden assisted and scored, and I was like, that triple up would be better. He's obviously going to get more than Edison, but it's obviously more expensive, and a 2-0 or a 1-0 City, hopefully we're going to be up if they keep doing the clean sheets. So yeah, there was a bit of a time when I thought maybe Edison downgrade, but I don't think at the moment I'll do that.
Yeah. I really like Foden for that first 45 minutes. I think he got hooked at half time, didn't he? But he looked for Grealish came on, but I was saying, I was like, oh, I need to get Foden in, and then he got half time. You're like, oh, I know still Bradley outscored him, but it's one of them. It's always in the back of your mind, isn't it? Whether you're going to get on the right side of the Pep. So
yeah. And I can't remember the exact argument. I did remember, I just flicked to the ticker, that people were talking about City's next few and their left side being quite useful. I suppose, and I haven't updated this so it's still showing game week 2 as the next week, so I have to interpret it a bit carefully. But yeah, City have got Newcastle, so maybe they're talking about targeting Trippier, and then Palace with Ward. They were just saying he's a weak link in the defence, so yeah, Foden's a good option if you've got him, I think, as long as he's not in the naughty step with Pep.
That's interesting stat. I hadn't even considered the left-hand side of it. The right-hand side of those defenders.
Pretty macro, yeah, getting into zonal matchups, but yeah. And then I also just wanted to look at, the Jesus captain error, if we can call it that, that what actually their fixture looked like. But fairly blue with Leicester, but not bold. That was just him absolutely banging, and off the back of a 2-pointer in game week 1. Fair play for anyone that went with it, but that was tough to call, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why I just feel really lucky that just the swinger from game week 1 to game week 2 with Jesus and then Mitrovic and all those the players. It was just people who went for big changes or wild cards or whatever. You'd be like, I got on both. I probably got on the good side of most of the decisions by just sticking, and obviously had a good good first pick, but shows the cliff was pretty steep on either side. I've kind of just wandered along the top of it, really.
Yeah, no, like you say, you had quite a few polar scores. Okay, 188k I am, so yeah, obviously happy with that. Very similar to yours. Defence is almost the same, except I've got 5 at the back. Neto and my sort of midfielders is also the hot topic of what I think I would do this week. We've both got 2 frees and we've both got 0 in the bank, so everything we do is a downgrade or equal on the money. If we only use 1 free transfer, and I'm not massively keen on using both, but we'll come to that in a bit. Yeah, similar to yourself, really, what you said. What was the slight difference? Did Zinchenko get booked then? Because I gained 1 point on you on the Arsenal defence with Gabriel with 2. Then obviously, lost out big on Robertson versus Diaz.
Yeah, he did get booked, didn't he? Did he pull someone back? I think I saw that, and I think I berated him at the time. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he got booked for a professional foul, as it were.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess I don't think I've really appreciated actually that Neto got 3 points rather than all my first bench Bailey. Sorry, got 1. Okay, Pereira got 3, so I guess I got the bench order bench order wrong, but I did at least play the right person in that slot because I was tempted by Bailey, but that was a bit weird actually, and the Villa insight would be useful. But it was his birthday last week, and Gerard Blimmin gave him the big up, and I just thought, is this another bloody Mahrez that's happened again? Because Pep did this last season and said, he's brilliant, flavour of the month, and then benched him. And it seems to be a bit of a thing with managers putting their arm around him in the media and then sacking him off and sticking him on the bench. What was your take on all that?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think we're just looking for something different going forward because it didn't really work out in game week 1 for so we wanted to get Ings and Watkins up there together, and I think at home he sometimes does favour that, change the shape a bit. I don't know. It's interesting because all pre-season he was there, and then I think Watkins had to come back in after the performance we put out in game week 1 where we looked a bit toothless. So I guess he was natural. It wasn't going to drop Coutinho at that point. He wasn't going. He obviously wanted to keep Ings, so I guess it was a natural drop. But yeah, it's tricky. I guess that's why he's 5 mil. But it's a shame for anyone who went with him, really.
Yeah. We certainly target to get out this week. Although Neto being that 0.5 more gives me a few more options. So I'm partly thinking I might just be stuck with him, and he can just rot and take a few price drops, unfortunately, until our wild card. But we'll see. Right, let's move on to the crux of this episode, which will be, I've done it in a bit of a different format last week and really enjoyed the sort of game by game thing we did last week, but I've put a few notes from FPL Rachel on Twitter, shout out to her, who I was trying to find sort of concise notes on all the games, and this is the closest I got to that. A few other people do like XG with them as well, and they actually put the score in, which is kind of useful, although we've got them on the same screen. But these aren't in order, but at least there are for every game. So 6 slides of this we'll just whiz through and talk about some of the notes if anything comes up. And you've geeked out on watching all the highlights of them all. So interesting to see what you think.
I did, in the name of research, of course.
Yeah. So we'll go through an order though of FPL Rachel's games, if that's all right, which is not quite chronological. But Southampton leads 2-2. Goals flying in. I mean, Leeds and Southampton, it's so hard to predict what they're going to do week to week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I guess in terms of, I mean, the top one there, Bamford went off, limped off. Was it an adductor pull or muscle strain or something? So how long is he out for? Yeah, Rodrigo, looks good, but is he just overachieving? It's difficult, isn't it? But if Bamford is out, then is he going to get forward more? What else is that? Aronson, I didn't see much of him in that game, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, because he's 5.5, so he would be an option for me. Although Leeds, they've got Chelsea this week, haven't they? I think so that's not that easy. All through this episode, I'm just trying to think: is there a 5.5 midfielder or less that I've missed? Because I think I've kind of thought of them all, and they're all pretty boring or have got baggage of some sort. So, but he's one I hadn't quite thought of. But then the Chelsea fixture kind of puts me off.
Yeah, exactly. I think that puts me off Leeds. I know Aribo, Mr. Bayliss had him, but I didn't see enough to decide. Yeah, he's the guy that's going in for Neto. Even though they did return, but
then just a bit of macro thought as well with yours. So okay. So your situation is a bit different. If you're going to change Neto with his dodgy Tottenham fixture, it has to be him rather than Pereira. I guess I've got the Bailey option. So if I could find a 5 mil or less, I could just bench Neto this week, and then I've got him for his good fixtures, which is kind of on my mind. But a 5 mil midfielder or less is even more restrictive.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, exactly. For me, I don't mind. If it was a good 5 mil, I'd obviously bank the cash. But it's maybe come on to that later. It's tricky to find anyone that really has more attacking potential than Neto for that money.
Yeah. The other option given Leeds, though, I mean, I'm just looking at the XG, which I've got another screen. They scored nearly 2 XG in that and conceded 1.2. So it's a fairly XG-tastic game. But if there was a cheap, I kind of almost wish like Jorginho or something was 5 mil. He might be worth a punt. But I think, was it Loftus-Cheek that started right wing back? He's 5 mil, but I don't know if he's going to be in that same position. But I almost need a 1 week punt, so he's maybe an option. Given they've got Leeds, that might be quite interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're quite. It's going to be quite open Leeds. I mean, they can't play any other way, can they? It would appear so.
Yeah,
that is interesting. The only other player that caught my eye a little bit from Southampton was Sekou Mara, the striker. I thought he looked a bit interesting when he came. I think he came on, didn't he, for 20 minutes? But he assisted the Walker Peters goal, and he just looked busy, and I think he had a shot and just looked interesting.
Oh yeah, so that was lush like grass cutter pass to Walker Peters. That was beautiful. So is he a 5.5 striker?
Yeah. So no good for what we need probably, but just interested to watch him over a few weeks if he starts, get more minutes, and he looked a good player.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Brighton 0, Newcastle 0. What was it, like 7 saves or something for Pope? So referring to him as the man in this is fair enough. And Brighton, just after last week's United result, was a bit of a shame they just couldn't get this over the line. What XG do they get in this? Okay, 1.5, and Newcastle did 0.2. So actually, that's quite interesting. I mean, Newcastle at home last week looked incredible, but in this game, it looks like they were hanging on.
Yeah. Brighton bossed that one, didn't they? And Pope kept him in it. I think again, Brighton, I couldn't stick it in, and that's kind of been a problem for them for a few seasons. But they did. Yeah, I don't know how they didn't score in that game. Really, Pope was excellent.
Again, it's a shame they've got a tricky fixture, because if they're good away, just West Ham, but then I don't know, West Ham have struggled and they were pretty unlucky to lose to Forest. But maybe March or Gross or something isn't a bad shout, and then they've got good fixtures after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean Gross, I can't get to Gross because the price rises. Without make a few transfers. March. Yeah, he definitely should have. I think are having a big chance that Pope made a good save or whatever. But yeah, he's someone I've considered instead of Neto. But yeah, I don't know. He's not got the most consistent track record as if returned, so that would be a bit of a punt.
Yeah. I'm still mega interested in a Newcastle defender, sort of, is it game week 6, but they've got fairly tough games now coming, I think. Yeah, City next.
Yeah.
Wolves.
They have
okay.
3 and
then
5.
Liverpool.
It's difficult.
Yeah, but then it's quite good from 6, so can leave that a little bit. But then that's interesting if their away form's not great. Yeah, bouncing St James's Park, they might be okay, but maybe away they're not too great.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Brentford United, obviously just a completely crazy game. And yeah, De Silva, what is it, 0.07 XG, and he's got 2 goals this season. And I don't know, Salah blanking this week, but then United next week. I just don't think it's worth changing Robertson. If I was going to do 2 free transfers to Diaz, it seems a good time to do it, because on paper that's a tricky game, and surely United are going to put up a fight of some sort and try and bounce back. But also, and that's the sort of toughest fixture. I think that's quite a good time to swap assets around. But Robertson could quite easily do something in that. So I think I've kind of gone off that idea as well.
Yeah, I think you've got to hold. If you've got Robbo or Diaz, you just got to hold what you've got. It's not worth 2 transfers. I agree. I think it's a bit of a toss of a coin whether. I mean, I think Simicast came on, didn't he? Didn't look that great.
That's what I heard.
His crossing wasn't brilliant. There's a couple of times he put the ball in the box. Well, I tried to put the ball in and it wasn't amazing. So I think, yeah, you just hold whoever you've got, and they're probably more or less the same at the end of the first 5 weeks. I think.
Yeah, hopefully. And Bomo, whatever his name is he a striker? I think he's 5.5 though, isn't he? But you're obviously saying here Tony's good, he's 7 mil forward, and De Silva's gone up a bit, but part of me just thinks I might punt on De Silva if I haven't got anything else. At least the money's good for him. And yeah, he's had these 2 crazy shots, but he has scored 2 goals. His confidence is going to be high. But then it's interesting here. It says he was about to get substituted. So, but they've got a good fixture, haven't they? Is it Fulham and then Everton? They've got Leeds soon. So yeah, it's decent fixtures.
They've got really good fixtures, really, until Arsenal in 8, haven't they? Because they've got Fulham, Everton, Crystal Palace, Leeds, and Southampton. I mean, that is tasty. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Brentford. One of the things I was looking at is Tony, but just rejigging my team around to get Tony in. I'm not sure I want to do it this week. Yeah, exactly. Mbeumo is a striker as well, 6 mil.
Okay, right. Yeah, 6. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Brentford assets. I mean, I know Jensen or whoever had a
that's what I was
really
thinking.
Good game.
Right.
Yeah.
But in terms of the goal, he was just gifted that by De Gea just passing it out to him. I didn't really notice much more of him. And I think last season he scored no goals and no assists. So yeah, I don't know, maybe a bit of a punt, but in a way, I only need a 1 week punt. So yeah, he's maybe on my mind.
Yeah, exactly. What's he, 5 mil? Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, yeah, you paid 58 minutes game week 1, 73 minutes game week 2. So
yeah,
you're not going to get maybe the full 90 out of him. But yeah, I mean, I remember on the highlights, he not only did he got a goal and assist, and I think he also assisted for the 4th goal, which was that counter attack. He assisted the ball up to Tony. He put the ball in from Mbeumo. So I think he had a good game, but that is 1 game a season for 14 points possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, 5 mil. It's not worth. You might be worth a shout.
Okay. City Bournemouth then. Obviously Foden didn't square it to Haaland, which is really annoying. Gundogan came in and looked good. Silva still maybe going to Barca, so he's a bit of a non-option until that settles down. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I mean, KDB was just lovely, wasn't he? I mean, such a great player to watch, and yeah, just make me think, why haven't I got him in the team? But the only way to get him in really is to drop Salah, or drop Haaland. I just don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. Agreed. I think I can't justify. I think if I had Diaz and Darwin, I might consider it, but I don't think I can make the money work anyway, to be honest. But yeah, I think KDB, who's a player that I really would like but don't have. Yeah, I wasn't too worried about Haaland and he's he's still got a 5-pointer. That by all accounts didn't have a great game, but he still got an assist. So okay, it wasn't the massive haul we hoped for, but it was ticking over.
Yeah, you've got a return, so it's not too bad. I think wasn't it something like he passed the ball only 2 times in the first half. One was the assist, and the other maybe it might have been from kickoff, and they were comparing him to Vardy, who I think does like 12 touches a game or something crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly right. One was the assist, and one was the kickoff. Yeah, it's one of them. I think he's still gonna keep him based on what you've seen so far, aren't you? But yeah, and I think Foden I talked about already. He impressed me the first half, but then went off at half time. So it's a bit frustrating. Yeah, I'm not ready to change my. Yeah, I've got the same as you, Edison, Cancelo, and Haaland. I think I'll stick with my 3 City assets for now.
Yeah, I think most people, if they've even got like Grealish or a Foden, you probably stick. Maybe if you've got Mahrez, who does some bit of a minutes risk, you probably ditch. But if you had someone like Gundogan, I probably would stick as well. The annoying thing about City's fixtures is that they dovetail imperfectly with Liverpool. 4 and 5, Liverpool and City have got 2 amazing home fixtures, but both of them, so it's not like you can sort of hokey cokey between Salah and De Bruyne. It seems that you've got to sort of make a decision, unless Salah blanks in the next 2, maybe you consider it, but I don't see De Bruyne being easy at all, unless you wildcard.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think trying to get Haaland, Jesus, Salah, and De Bruyne, just the money's not there. I think so.
Yeah,
you'd have to drop one of Haaland or Salah, and so I'm not ready for that yet.
agreed. Wolves and Fulham, so Sar's next best mate again. Was this the game with the crazy XG swing? No, okay, this was less than 1 for both teams, so it was a bit of a low scorer. Obviously, Neto took that heavy touch and just stuck it in. And then the penalty miss for and I'm calling out non-penalty XG here, so it doesn't include Mitrovic's miss.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's just that could have been so great for Mitrovic owners, and then miss a penalty late on. That's super frustrating for them. Great for everyone else, but yeah, Neto, you just think, oh yeah, if he put that in, then but it's 5.5. That's why for a reason, isn't it? So
yeah.
Interesting.
Neto was on set pieces. It says there. I didn't know that. And it has looked good. Just seems to be a bit of a takes 10 touches when he should just shoot.
Yeah, exactly. But he does get in good positions. He does. In fact, he's had chances. Makes you think he maybe still worth sticking with for a bit longer. But for 5.5. Yeah, but it's just this week really. But yeah, do you want to? I could get a punt for a week and then I could bring him back. I mean, I think he's not close to dropping, is he? But he's gone down a fair chunk over the last couple of weeks, so he might be dropping.
Yeah, that's right.
Later on this week.
Yeah, might be. Yeah. I think that's where I'm tempted at the moment. Take a punt, but on Bailey instead, and then bench Neto, and then Newcastle and Bournemouth. Not great. I mean, Newcastle have been okay, but struggled away apparently this week, and Bournemouth, they're not looking too good. Southampton's a decent fixture, so you get 3 good fixtures out of them, and especially if I'm going for someone like Blimmin Gordon or De Silva or something, I'm not going to be playing them really. So Neto can come back in for a few.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I think really it's only if I could get a Brighton or Brentford player that I really liked, then I think because their fixtures are really nice, kind of through to like 7, 8 kind of time, then I think that I might consider. But then just except I haven't got Neto, which obviously he'll probably come back and burn me. But I think it's whether I can find the right player that I actually want, which I'm not sure I can. So I think that's the thing I need to weigh up, because they've got really nice fixtures. So like I say, right, get him in, but I'll leave him for 5 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Or to a wild card or whenever that is.
So Villa Everton, you watched this, right?
I did. Yeah, I did. We had a couple of beers and watched this one with my dad. So that was good. Yeah, we didn't look. Villa didn't look great. I mean, I think the main take homes I had is Diego Carlos did his Achilles, so he's out for the season, which is bad for Villa defence.
Right.
And then Mings, Chambers, and Konsa are our 3 fit centre backs, all at 4.5. So there is value there, but the fixtures aren't great. And I say our set piece defending was really poor. Like every time the ball went in the box, Everton had a chance, and we couldn't. We didn't seem to have a great deal of marking and organisation in there. So whether that gets better with Carlos out or not, I don't know, but I wouldn't have thought so. So that's the take home I had. And defensively, we didn't look very good. I thought Everton looked, all right in patches. Onana, I think is he on the watch list there?
Yeah.
For FPL Rachel. I think that was he did look quite good, but it's a bench appearance. Is he going to get many minutes at the moment? I don't know.
Yeah.
Gordon. Yeah, he did score, but he was offside. I don't know. I don't like any of the Everton attackers really.
They're all fraught with risk, aren't they? Like Iwobi, he's been patchy, he can sort of do it sometimes, but it's risky. Gordon, I don't know. And then the next Chelsea bid's coming in, is he gonna maybe be benched or something with that? It's all a bit strange.
Yeah, but I think Iwobi was playing like a number 6 role. He was playing really deep, and then Gordon was playing like false 9 until they brought Rondon on, and they switched him. And I think it looked a bit more natural. He was playing on the wing. I think, to be honest, I'm probably avoiding all Everton and Villa at the moment. The only player I did like look of was Buendia. When he came on, he Villa much better with Buendia. Coutinho went off because he was pretty poor. Buendia, I don't know if Coutinho had a little niggle. I think, to be honest, I'd probably almost not say prefer him to be out, but I think will Gerrard drop Coutinho if he was fit? Probably not. But Buendia came on, looked really lively, got a goal, was best player on the park in the last 20 minutes or so. So I think that was interesting, and it'd be good to see kind of he was playing in behind the 2 strikers, and he looked decent, but I think his minutes are going to be pretty limited unless Coutinho is out for a while.
And actually, that Palace game going next week, a few people are talking about Eze. Do you think that's going to be a tricky game for you guys?
Yeah, I think so. I think we haven't looked that great in either end of the pitch, really. I mean, I think Everton are a fairly poor team, and they could have got something from that game. Even late on, they had chances to get another goal. It wasn't a great control performance from Villa, I didn't think. So I think Palace. I think it could be any result, because Palace are kind of they can do a bit of everything, can't they? So Eze is something that I've been looking at as well, because he's 5.5, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I think their fixture's not amazing, kind of after Villa. Is that right?
Tough away, but Brentford, United at home, not too bad.
Yeah.
But
so I don't know.
immediately afterwards, not great.
Yeah, it's probably a bit early for me to get Eze in, if I'm honest. But given the fixtures, but I think if was it who else came back on? Was it not? Was it Mateta came on and the Palace and someone else? So I wonder if he's going to get a bit rotated. But when he plays, I think Eze is he's a good. He's a good player.
Yeah. Arsenal, Liverpool. Yeah, 4 involvements for Jesus. That amazing little chip first finish, and I mean we're also pretty happy sitting with Martinelli 2 mil less, and Saka just doesn't seem to be as involved. So bit unfortunate for people that sort of just thought I'll just get a solid 8 mil pick there, and sort of hindsight should have gone either Martinelli or Diaz.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think Jesus could have had 4 goals, I think, as well as his assist. He had 2 of the chances he didn't need. That, I mean, he could have had an absolute mega haul there, but still very good return. And Martinelli, I think I said in the first episode that came on 2 weeks ago, I didn't really consider Saka. I think I got 2 mil, so I'm pleased that I didn't get that one wrong. But it's he's been doing this, 2 returns in 2 weeks, so it's a great time to have him. And I guess Xhaka was the interesting one. I know we had a bit of a chat on WhatsApp groups about that, about how he maybe play a bit further forward. He's 5 mil.
Yeah.
I just don't know who I'd take out for that. Maybe drop Zinchenko, but I don't know. At the moment, I'm quite happy with my 3 Arsenal that I've got. With
Yeah,
their
it's
fixtures.
definitely tricky. Yeah, I'd definitely be thinking of taking out the defender for Gabriel for me. But the fixtures are decent. Yeah, I'm sort of looking at it thinking Leicester scored 2, but that Maddison goal was kind of fortunate, and Leicester are a decent attacking team, but they've got good fixtures still coming out, haven't they? So moving the assets around is probably a bit risky.
Yeah, exactly. And I think yes, you could probably plug it with like another Chelsea defender or something, and then you could get to have double Chelsea and then have extra Arsenal attacker or something. That's probably what I could do, but there's some danger involved in that as well, because who's going to play for Chelsea? But yeah, maybe that's next on the list of fixtures.
Yep. The text seems to get smaller with every slide. Forest West Ham. So the mad one here was that the XG swing here was pretty crazy. They're almost equal non-penalty XG. But so I gather West Ham really unlucky here, and 0-0 was probably more fair. But as it says here, Williams was pretty good. So again, you're sitting pretty with him. Has he had a price rise yet? But he's going to be getting one soon, I'm sure, of 7-pointer.
I don't think he's had one yet, and obviously sat on my bench, second sub. So that was but yeah, I mean, I think that does put me off the 5 at the back, and I don't know why it should really, but I just think when he's there at 4 mil and he just, I don't know. I just think for me, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep him all season, and
it's a sort of
get
position
really well.
You don't have to move, isn't it? It's comforting. Yeah, even with an early wild card, but that could be, as we've said, game week 10 or something. You can just sit there and don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, I mean, who else was again? That Henderson saved a penalty, didn't he? Which Rice missed. I think West Ham were unlucky they would work, didn't they? Obviously missed a penalty. Did Benrahma hit it twice? I can't remember, but it was. I don't know. They didn't score really, but it's I was gonna say I don't think we should be too worried about West Ham. Obviously, they Man City first up, and they've had Forest where they should have got something, but
they've got the Conference League starting soon, I think, haven't they? So I don't know. I do wonder if there's a bit of a rot started there. If they've got next Brighton, I don't know. It's pretty tricky.
It's not easy. Yeah. I mean, I don't own any of their assets. I'm probably not going to get any in because their fixtures will go. They've got Brighton, Villa, Spurs, Chelsea. It's not great, and where the goals coming from. If Bowen isn't turning it on, I know they got Antonio and Scamacca or whatever, but I don't know. There's no one there that I'm really watching at the moment.
Yeah, agreed. Chelsea and Spurs. James obviously got his return from. Was he playing right centre back at the time? Just appeared in the box and lush finish as he does, but then Spurs got it right back at the end, and Kane sort of sellers. It's pretty brutal to have that swing.
96 minute Kane Perisic. I was like, and I saw that pop up. Obviously, as don't own Kane, don't own Perisic. I was like, blimey! But obviously, over the course of the game week, I've had a good week, so I'm not too worried. But at the time, I was like, a bit outraged about it. It was a good fight. It was a good game actually. Really fiery, tackles flying in. The manager at it. It's a good game for good advert for the Premier League. I thought I quite enjoyed it as a neutral.
Yeah, it's a good game.
But
there's a lot of notes on this. I think actually FPL Rachel's a Liverpool fan, so not quite sure she's gone to town on this so much. But I suppose Perisic being benched but then getting an assist was almost the worst combo for people that are tempted to get him. One thing that would tempt me into using both my transfers is if I don't know, Sessegnon was confirmed out or something, because I'm tempted to get Perisic.
Yeah. I just think I see the ability, but I mean, it was just was it a wide free kick that he's got? A corner, was it that he took the set piece? Was it for the goal? It's just minutes, isn't it? Sessegnon has also been playing quite well, and I think we're just going to carry on rotating him around. Cooley didn't do much. He was when I was watching that game, because it's someone who I was thinking, if I'd get rid of Diaz, then I might jump on Kulu, but didn't do too much. But obviously, it was against Chelsea, so it's not. I'm still watching him, but not too active at the moment, because I'm probably going to keep Diaz for another week. yeah, what else do we have on that one?
We were quite lucky actually not to get a James own goal. Yeah, because it was Perisic who swung it in, Kane nodded it on, and then James looked like he definitely diverted it in, but it looked like it was going wide. So could have been unlucky with that for the 96 minuter.
See, I watched it and I thought, oh no, it's definitely going in already. So I was like,
Okay.
no ways, I don't go. I'll be outrageous if that was out. But yeah, I can see. Yeah, it was one of them. I don't think it was clear cut, was it? But yeah, when I watched it a couple of times and I was like, it's definitely going in. Maybe
Okay.
it's my wishful thinking, just putting out some positive brainwaves to in case anyone's listening. But did you see the Koulibaly goal? That was a lovely finish. That was quality.
Yeah. Well, a bit of a
Love it when a big
Rudiger type
centre-back.
thing about it, isn't it? Just centre back with a great shot on him. It could be interesting. And like you say, I have considered me with a double up, but it was so flaky last week. Chelsea, I'm not sure about the double up. What's their fixtures like coming up? They got Leeds next. They're just going to attack Leicester. They can attack, and then after that, okay, it gets a bit better. So I'm just happy with James for now.
Yeah, he's 5.5, isn't he? If he was 5 mil, I think I'll be on him. But 5.5, I'd have to move around too much, I think, to get there. Maybe. So I guess I could go down to like the silver or something. But yeah, probably not going to do that. But yeah, I think the Leeds fixture puts me off because Leeds are going to attack, and yeah, I think Chelsea will win it, but I think it'll be like 3-2 or something. So
yeah,
that does put me off a little bit. But yeah, their fixtures are generally pretty nice. So I'm still certainly thinking about another Chelsea player coming in. I think the Cucurella chat is interesting at 5 mil. I mean, I just think I know they've signed him, but surely Chilwell gets minutes. Like, surely he won't start every game. I don't know. Maybe that's.
Yeah, I think I was listening to something where they were talking about. I think he played in the under like 23s or something, or the development team Chilwell. So even though he started the first week, I'm not sure if he made the 90 minutes, and obviously he got the assist. Everyone was thinking, "Oh right, he's back to his best," and that's the left wing back, and Alonso position bombing on. But I thought Tuchel was pretty set on saying he wasn't really ready, and maybe Cucurella is a good short term option. Next 3-4 weeks, but yeah, I think from 5 is better rather than from 3. The fixture, so it might be a bit of a risk.
Yeah, I think if I was jumping to like Xhaka or someone, then I guess he'd be the natural person to take out Zinchenko. But I think at the moment I don't see a real need to fix it, so I'm probably going to stick with one just with James.
And we need to see as well, like transfer window's still open, isn't it? Chelsea might bring another centre back in. That might cement Cucurella a bit more left wing back, but if they don't, he might move to left centre back and be a bit less of an option going forwards.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, even if he's playing left centre back for 5 mil, we'd probably think about him. I guess that's not too.
Yeah,
5 mil is pretty cheap, isn't it? For if Chelsea get the defence together.
Yeah. And then a lot of notes on Liverpool Palace. Talks about how poor Tsimikas was. Zaha just got into that position he was looking for all the time, and great finish. And obviously Darwin out is kind of changed the dynamic a bit.
Yeah, massively. Massive change. I mean, he was the one player I was thinking, I've got to get him in. I've got to change my team, get him in. Obviously, he started and he had chances, and I was like, oh, and then it'll flip round the other way, and I mean, super frustrating if you're a Darwin owner. That is, I mean, just silly. It was there, even things like the silly yellow cards or the dissent or take your shirt off, but to do that, I think it's just as an FPL manager, you're just pulling your hair out, aren't you? I'm sure as a real manager, Klopp's pulling his hair out as well. But
and did you watch all of this? Did you suggest live?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, because I was quite interested in this game.
And Robbo had like it was like a finger strapping or something, but it didn't seem to be causing much grief. But that's maybe why he came off on 60 minutes.
Yeah, he did get strapped up.
During the game he got it injured?
I thought so. I thought they strapped it kind of.
Okay, I thought it really
end of the
started
first half.
Okay.
Or maybe he did then. I can't remember. But he definitely had it strapped at some point. Or maybe they definitely restrapped it at some point. But I thought it was a bit of a strange one, really. I get when you're chasing the game, not it's one of the more creative players took him off, so maybe there was something going on there. But yeah, I mean, I think the interesting for me is obviously I've got Diaz, no Darwin, and I've got Diaz and Salah. Is that does Darwin make if Firmino comes in? Does that make them better assets for next week. Maybe I don't know.
I'd say
It's
so,
too early
yeah.
to say, isn't it? But are they
Mm,
going to play? I mean, Salah was playing quite wide, I thought, in the first half. Although he
right.
still had chances because obviously I didn't captain him, so I was still like, in that catch-22 where you're kind of like, returns, but don't return too much because I haven't captained him and all the rest of it. But
Yeah.
he did have a couple of like half chances as well. Maybe one was a bit better than half chance, which he missed.
Yeah, I thought I only haven't seen the highlights. I didn't really see him out wide too much. I thought he was in the box quite a lot and getting involved, which is a bit strange because for the Community Shield, Firmino started and Diaz and Salah I thought were really good. And then when Darwin came on, he was the main focus, and that's where half the kind of hype for Darwin came from. So I would say Firmino being in is a better option for Diaz. But yeah, Salah's interesting if another blank and so expensive, and if KDB's banging on the door. Definitely leave it for United. It's just then that really good double header of home fixtures is going to make him really difficult to sell.
Yeah, it's just.
But maybe if Liverpool draw or something, if that finishes 0-0, 1-1 at United, poor result for both teams. Liverpool are not, obviously United are in a real mess, but that's probably more of a shock for Liverpool. They've had a poor start. Okay, they got Bournemouth, but City they got two good home fixtures. Would that not be too crazy to go Salah to De Bruyne?
Yeah. And then Newcastle, Everton, the derby away at Goodison, that could be interesting, spicy. And Wolves, they don't get heavily thrashed off in Wolves. So and then Chelsea, so maybe their fixtures aren't that brilliant from 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, that Bournemouth game is good, but City, Palace isn't easy, but then from then on, Cities do look a bit better.
I think City look the better team at the moment, don't they? They look so in form, so at it. You just think not many people are going to, probably up until Spurs in 7, not many people are going to give them a game, really. So,
yeah,
I think definitely want to think about.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, the double Liverpool defence, it still might be good. I think you stick if you've got it, and if you haven't, you don't worry about it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Did you say you had some notes? Sorry, have you anything we missed on the way through there?
No, I think I covered all my notes. I think that's all good.
Nice. Okay, let's move on. What was happening in the top 10k? Jesus and Cancelo's points certainly stick out as the only kind of hauls. 55 and 50% owned. That's a lot less, I think, than last week. I think Jesus was in the 70s, was he? Oh no, maybe I'm just thinking of the overall sort of game week 1 thing, highest ever. But that was quite a differential having those two.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely was 70 something, wasn't he? But that was probably overall. But I'm surprised he's only 50 odd
in
the top 10k.
Yeah,
that's a bit crazy. I guess because he blanked. So I guess people who bid back someone else maybe did better and they're in the top 10k. But I'm guessing they're not in the top 10k anymore.
Yeah, all of that's a bit weird actually. There's no Haaland and Salah are well captain, but then no one else 70% owned. Even like Trent. End of last season he was probably like 80% or something. So there is still quite a lot of variation in there in the top 10k.
I guess it's because he's blanked. So if you've had Trent and Robbo,
true.
Like at the moment, it's a bit skewed, isn't it? To people who add, I don't know, someone else in there, but who returning game week 1.
I thought the chips was quite interesting because I heard someone say, "Oh, well, the top 10k is just filled with players with that have played chips." But this week actually, maybe 2-3% on the top right image of who's played chips is quite high on a normalish week, and suggests people are being quite reactive and just a bit like Darren, just going for broke and going for it. But that's also kind of reassuring that not a lot of people up there are just there because of chips. 89% have played no chips, so that's quite interesting.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And then the captaincy bottom right just shows what a pretty mad game it was. In a way, we got on the good side of the Haaland Salah split, but then minuses for 2 captains in the top 4 is pretty insane. And then soon after that, Jesus. I was pretty happy with Haaland.
Yeah, exactly. I think on balance, I only considered Haaland and Salah, so take extra 3 points.
Yeah.
Extra 6.
Okay, captaincy. Quick look at this. Rate My Team says Salah is the best, 6.4 predicted points. Haaland, pretty much 6. And then Spurs boys. I mean, the Spurs boys is interesting. If you had them, I don't think you can sell with Wolves. But they've had 2 games now, scored 6 goals, and still only 1 return between them both. Oh no, sorry, Kane got 1, so 1 each.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well. Yeah, I think again, Spurs for all through the season, I have had Spurs, and that's the area that I worry about the most probably. But now that tough fixture out's out of the way, then I think that's a bit of a concern. But I'm on Salah. I think I haven't seen United, and I just can't look past Salah at the moment. I know he didn't play that well, but he did have a couple of chances. I don't know. I mean, Haaland, but Man City going to go to Newcastle and win 2-3-4. I don't see it because I think Newcastle are defensively okay, aren't they? So they'll probably win 2, maybe 2 or 3, but I don't think they'll win by a lot. Whereas I don't know. I think that Liverpool it could be anything. That score, it could be ugly, or it could be I don't know. It could be tight. But I mean, was it last season? Liverpool went to Old Trafford. Was that Old Trafford, and they actually battered them for half? I can't remember, but
wasn't it 5-1? I think, and Salah got 4 returns.
Something like that.
What was it, Gameweek 8 or something? I think it was 5-1. I mean, that's kind of reflected in the. Well, what you've just said is perfectly reflected in the captain poll. Then that Holly again, I grabbed 3,000 votes. Salah favourite, and then if you're saying not too keen on the City at Newcastle, that I guess puts Jesus second choice for you after Salah.
Yeah, and Jesus, I mean, he played so well. You think at Bournemouth that is a good fixture. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Yeah, I think I won't be picking Haaland, but Jesus or Salah. At the moment, it's Salah. I have to think about it a bit more, but I think that's kind of it. It's interesting. Not on the captaincy, but Mitrovic base returns of 5.73 or whatever. I think that's quite high, isn't it? But they've got Brentford. I think Brentford are decent defensively, but
that's quite high. That's interesting. Yeah, that was going to be quite a difficult one to predict because Fulham are great against Liverpool. Brentford have just looked good in general. 2 quite attacking teams. Could be like 2-3 all or something.
Yeah.
But what's going to give there? I think my bus team I've got. I can't remember before I came on. I'm really torn actually between the 3 of them. I think it's really tough this week with Haaland, Salah, and Jesus. Interestingly, you're fairly bullish on Salah. I'm pretty torn on that one. So, but I think it's interesting when someone, if you're having a really good season like that and someone's very confident at something, that's always quite interesting and worth, sort of not ignoring.
Pride comes before a fall, isn't it? I think. I don't know. I just thought Man United was so bad, just so bad. That first, even I don't know. But then Liverpool haven't looked at it. I think if Liverpool had come in and they'd absolutely steamrolled the last 2 opponents, maybe I'm just thinking, rose tinted glasses of what they were like last season when they were absolutely steamrolling teams. But I don't know. They've got some injury worries, haven't they, in the central midfield area and defensive area as well, Liverpool. So maybe it's not as clear cut as I'm thinking, but. Maybe I need to give it more consideration, but I think it's likely to be Salah. If I feel a bit, I think that's a safer pick as well, isn't it? Probably. So I don't want to say protecting rank already, but I just think playing it fairly conservatively might not be, probably will be what I do because that's how I play it generally.
Yeah, fair. I mean, looking at this, Jesus and Salah. So Jesus will probably have about 100% captaincy, but Salah will be like 150 or something. So I suppose if you don't want the classic of wanting some of your players not to do well, Salah is the captain to go for. At least then everyone you can cheer on.
Yeah, true. I'm also most likely to watch that game because I think it'll be tasty. So next Monday, I'll enjoy watching that with Salah. It was just on Monday night, though, isn't it? So you got to go all the way through the week and then put it all on Salah on the Monday night again. That's tricky.
Okay. So yeah, we're recording this on Tuesday, as I said, which is the day earlier than we normally do. So I'm even more undecided because of that. But this week, I think it's probably one of the trickiest weeks for a while I've had in terms of what to do. And also, I don't think I've ever been in the position where I thought I updated this to say that burning a transfer is an option. And well, I don't think with Everson to Ward actually is an option. It is, but I can see, for example, yours. I would struggle, to see a transfer at the moment. So it is a genuine kind of week where I think a lot of people in the FPL world are not sure what to do. So yeah, 2 free transfers, none in the bank. I'm faced with this. I mean, I'm currently paying Pereira. I think he came off just with cramp or something, didn't he? So I think he's fine. He's got technically the best fixture, but then Neto has looked pretty good. So probably one of those two. Don't think I'll play Bailey. But then potential transfers, yeah. Swap the keepers so that I've got the right Leicester keeper is an option. Bailey to someone, that's probably a 1 week punt because then Neto would come back in. Or if it is Neto to someone, that's a more long-term one. But I've written here that I only want to do one of those really because I feel 2 free transfers next week could be quite key. Perisic could come back. I could realise I've got maybe the wrong Liverpool asset and I do need to switch it. I don't know. I just see another week of information being quite powerful.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think keeping your 2 frees or having 2 frees next week. So yeah, I think that is really important because I think none of those moves are going to give you massive. Well, unless they go and bang in a hat trick or something, but you're probably not going to gain massive off any of those transfers. I don't think over a 1 week period. But yeah, I don't know. Something in the back of my mind is that just the idea of losing a transfer just is so outrageous. After all the times I've taken hits and things like that, you just think it's never been a situation I've ever encountered before. I barely ever have 2 free, let alone think about not using them. So I quite like the fact that you got the keepers swap because I think that'd give me a nice warm feeling that at least I did something. I think that I'd be happy with that. I might just swap. Might just go Water back to Everson just for a laugh.
I put there as well with a fear that Spurs win heavily. I mean, on my ticker, that apart from the Chelsea game is probably the one I fear the most. And I was just looking at the captaincy split. They're all fairly similar colours with Jesus, Haaland, and so like none of them massively stick out as the one to go for in terms of just team performance. But if you were going to go just on that, Chelsea or Spurs is. So I'm a bit worried about that Spurs game where maybe they could really click, and then with having neither Son or Kane could hurt.
Yeah, Wolves is interesting because obviously last season they got loads of clean sheets, didn't they? Playing back 5, they've gone to back 4. They haven't looked, as good. Well, I know they got nil against Fulham, but obviously they penalty missed. But yeah, it's interesting. What about Wolves? Kind of like Wolves. How they're gonna turn up against Spurs? Like Spurs really gonna steamroller them? I don't know. I think Wolves are quite a tight team. It's gonna be quite a tight game. I think. I don't know. So I think I'm not mega worried. It's just obviously if Kane puts 2 in or Son or Kulu or someone, then I'll be annoyed. But I'm not super worried about that Spurs fixture at the moment. I don't think I've got a good way of getting any of them in really. So that's kind of maybe I'm just talking myself out of it.
Right. Realise I had your last week's team up still, but here we go with actually your actual team. So yeah, Bernard transfer definitely a possibility. Looking at that because it's looking pretty decent, but otherwise it's just Neto, I guess. Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just where to go on Neto, and there's so many listed there. There's Silver March, Gray, and Arna Gordon. There's a few others we've discussed, isn't there? That are like
Another twice.
in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's Eze actually we could add in there, and probably some others. I think, I think likelihood is I do nothing, even though it really kind of burns a bit of a I don't know, into my psyche. I just really don't want to do nothing. But it's that I think if I had a real plan, I could say, right, I'm going to take Neto out, put someone in, and then what am I going to do with them? If I release some cash or what am I going to do with it? But I really just don't know what I'm going to do with any of it at the moment. So I'm probably just going to roll Neto and leave it as it is. I think it's probably like 85% chance of happening.
Wow. But yeah, looking at it, you're right. I mean, apart from, Archer, it's not as if another 4.5 has kind of come about. Might be worth just looking at if, I don't know, someone like Archer is dropping more than, what was the, was it a Turkish guy at Southampton, say, or, someone like that, where you can maybe just solidify your price a bit more on a couple of players. But yeah,
That's
Nico Williams, you
interesting.
can't change. Andreas, I imagine, is going up because he's the best 4.5. Ward for sure is, so that'd be the only other thing that comes to mind.
No, I hadn't considered that. Yeah, I'll have a look at Archie. He didn't come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Against Everton at all.
Got a few minutes in Gameweek 1, didn't he? But didn't come on.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's a good shout. But yeah, I think otherwise, I mean, ultimately, like I said, everyone apart from Trent and Neto have actually returned, but Neto's just so cheap, isn't he? And just knowing which sub 5.5 to jump on.
Yeah.
For a couple of weeks, I mean, yeah, I like Brentford and Brighton players. I just don't know which one really. So yeah, I think Gross and priced out could be Solly Marsh, but I don't know. I've never really considered him. I don't think for FPL and the seasons I've played because I don't think he's ever been that good. So it's one of them that if I did take a punt on it, I probably you're gonna gotta get lucky, or you'd be chastising yourself 2 weeks later for taking that out and end up getting him back in. Because obviously he's quite well owned, isn't he? He's playing pretty far forward. He's getting chances. Probably not going to get much against Spurs. I mean, yeah, I could play Andreas Pereira. I mean, I guess that is an option. Bench Neto.
Yeah, or even play Williams. Everton. I know everyone's thinking that could be an easy game, but if you had an injury, say if Andreas was out, I wouldn't be against that.
True. Although Forest, they did concede a lot of chances to West Ham. I think they were fortunate to get a clean sheet. So I'm thinking, I know but it is Everton, and they are pretty toothless going forward. So yeah, maybe I need to think about that as well. But then I think if Net is playing pretty high and they're hitting if they are playing on the counter against Spurs, then maybe Neto is someone he might get a chance. You never know, he might get a goal, might put it in this time. So yeah, ultimately, if he gets a 2.0, he gets it's 5.5, isn't he? So it's not the end of the world, I guess.
16k and rolling on the transfer, that would be, burning the transfer, that would be pretty epic. But yeah, looking at that, can't disagree. Let us know in the comments if you think of something. But
please do.
Tom is missing anything. Okay, we've only got 4 questions, which cover some of the other bits that maybe we've covered or not. So yeah, this one was just interesting about the Old Trafford protest. It sounds pretty mega on Monday, and it could cause disruption, and some people are talking about it being so bad that it might postpone the fixture. So I think the thing there is just don't captain and vice captain in that fixture.
Yeah, I think we all got not caught up by that. We didn't have the captain and vice captain, but yeah, when the protest called it off last time, I think that was a bit of a shock that could happen. But yeah. I mean, I think if I do have Salah, obviously I'll have Jesus. Or I think I've got Haaland's vice at the moment. Maybe I'll switch it to Jesus if that's what I'm going for. But that'd be a nightmare. Triple Liverpool.
Yeah.
My team, but I've got hopefully two on the bench that are playing. So
yeah, exactly. Although that might be another reason to think about Archer, because might need to go 3 bench deep if that game's off, because most people are going to have triple Liverpool.
Yeah, I just don't think I can release the cash to get Archer to anything else.
No, as in, but maybe if a 4.5 looks more likely. I don't think any 4.5s have played minutes in both games. But if there was that option, or someone looks like more likely to start than Archer, it might be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess ultimately most people have got double or triple Liverpool probably by now. So
we probably wouldn't be in the same boat. Sure, yeah, it's probably 1 point difference, but as you are burning the transfer.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be annoyed. Obviously, I should have taken Salah out if that happens.
Best 5 mil and 5.5 mids. I think we've kind of talked about that. Darwin's red change in Liverpool assets. I think we've talked about that.
Yeah.
And Cucurella an option. Yeah, we kind of went through that also. So yeah, it's more if we forgot any of these.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's good. I think we covered most stuff on my mind at the moment. It's just they come around thick and fast, don't they? And then I guess looking a bit further ahead, within so it's not the double's not it's the week after that, isn't it? So it's the 27th, not double, sorry, the 2 in 1 week, the compressed midweek
Midweek's
games,
5, yeah, exactly.
5 and 6. So it gets super quick in the next kind of couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm feeling my team's quite inflexible, but obviously it's doing all right. So I'm kind of like, that's fine, but I just don't know, quite who to ditch and who to hop off at the moment. But I think the problem is that the fixtures for, like, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool are really good. So just stay on those for as long as they're good, and I think that makes sense. But I do feel it's a bit. I think I'd like to have more variety. I feel like I should jump on here, jump on there, but
yeah,
it is a Brentford player going to outscore a Liverpool player probably every 5 weeks? Probably not, if they're the right player. I think so. I guess I'm happy to stick, even though that means burn the transfer. But I'm a bit sad about that inside.
yeah. No, sure. It'd be a lot more satisfying if you were 16k through doing a few, genius little manoeuvres here and there. But you've sort of set up the team, and it's like we said at the start of the season. Top 6 teams have got great fixtures. Prices allow us to get 2 to 3 of all of them. They've all come in for you. I wouldn't worry too much. Yeah, I'm sure going to be some challenges soon. Try and enjoy it and put your feet up, and then got a busy week, it sounds like, so don't worry about it next week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what happens if I get to next week and I'm still burning more transfers? I just that's just crazy. I mean, I've had a good week though, so I hope that happens, obviously.
Of course. Right, that's it. Anything? No Twitter this week because I did have a look through. There was nothing mega interesting that I thought was worth sharing, and also a bit low on time for prep for this one, so a bit shorter. But looks like you guys are still going to win the prediction. Anything you think we've missed, Tom?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just been another classic week, hasn't it? With Darwin and Mitro and Jesus, and it's just been I think it's just every game has been throwing up something. So it's been another good week. But
classic FPL week. A few minus points dropped in there. So, like you said, there was 4 of them this week. It's pretty mad.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we didn't talk about Dino or Saliba own goals, but that was
So glad when I saw Dini's go in. I didn't have him here, obviously. Annoyed for people that did, but geez, I was on the wrong side of that last year with not having cash and stuff in 28. Yeah, he's a complete troll, isn't he?
Yeah, but then I guess if you picked him over cash by now, you probably I don't know. I mean, cash did go off, didn't he? But I think probably cramp as they will see. But it was just I think they said he scored it's the reverse the same fixture, but obviously playing for Everton last season, he scored an own goal in that one as well. So it's just any kind of Villa Everton game at Villa Park, he scores an own goal in. So remember that for next week.
Sure. I missed the I missed that it would have been against his old teammates. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm sure a few people enjoyed it in the Everton section.
Right, thanks again for coming on, Tom.
No worries. Thanks. Good luck, everyone. Have a good week.
Yeah, no, thanks. And exactly. Best of luck, everybody. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. If you enjoyed the content, please give it a like, share it, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be back next week. Night, everyone. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.